Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the channel. This week was pretty crazy, and not just because of all the losses. This week for me personally was pretty hard. Started the week off by having a pet die, so had to bury that and say goodbye. And also like work, it was just a crazy busy week of work. I mean, even while I'm digging the grave, got a call for a work emergency and had to go take care of that before I could finish burying the pet. And yeah, it's been a rough week, and I didn't have as much time as I normally do in order to do my trading, and won't even discuss like the stress eating and poor diet, which makes me feel horrible on top of all that. So, pretty rough week. Uh, I was actually thinking about skipping doing this video. Had I been positive in my portfolio, I probably would have skipped it, truth be told, but I didn't want to have a negative week and not show it and make people think that I'm trying to hide stuff. So force myself to make this little video. And I guess I just kind of covered all that in the intro. On top of everything else, I've been having a big itch. Like I want to buy a new car. So I was looking at a Honda Civic, but then we went and had a pretty bad week here. So sorry, Civic, you gotta wait a little bit because it's gotta make that money back up in that portfolio first. Daily close snapshots. I'm sorry I couldn't get the actual snapshot on Thursday. I think I saw 7K pop up at one point. The mobile app was actually saying I was positive on Thursday, but I know for a fact that wasn't true. For some reason, the mobile app seems to goof up on the daily when I start doing plays on Zebra. Like if I close or open a Zebra, the daily just gets messed up horribly. I'm not sure why, but it just seems to always happen. Anyway, Monday, Tuesday, pretty red days. Wednesday, another red day. Thursday, Baba gap down and continue going down. I have a bunch of zebras on Baba, so because I have that directional play on right now, Baba moving against me, and Wish even for that matter, I'm pretty exposed to China moving against me. It adds up to some pretty big losses. Friday, Wish came up to just make a green daily, but obviously the whole week overall is a pretty red week. If we look at the weekly total, my net lick is down almost 15K. So that's literally half a Civic right there. The realized premium for August is actually negative 5,400. I did close some plays, reposition some zebras, and you'll see that in a second when we go over this. Last week I posted this screenshot saying how proud I was to be above six figures. Well, now I get to aim to do that again. Because after the realized losses that I took this week, I'm all the way down to 94K overall. This week's trades, like I said, it was a busy week. Didn't have much time to do anything. I did sell a put on Intel at the 51 strike, and I think that's actually almost in the money now, so even that's going against me. Workhorse, I sold some $6 puts to pick up a little bit of money here. And then Baba was down to about 185. Well, yeah, because that's what they sold the strike at. So I already have a Baba bullish zebra on back when Baba was at 195. So now there's on a discount at 185. Why not put some more on? So that's what I did. And then Tuesday, I didn't even look at the portfolio. Wednesday, Baba gapped down. So I needed to reposition those zebras, which meant I needed to close down the ones I had on. So close those down for some realized losses. And then I also decided to take the opportunity to turn this put I sold into another zebra. So between all that, that's four trades that I closed down. And I decided I wanted to add one more just to make the break even happen faster. So turn around and bought 5 bullish zebras at the 165, 150. So this one's only got about 42 days before I have to close it down and reposition again. But if Baba starts to move up, and eventually I hope it does, once that China fear, goes away, I think my break even overall between this Baba is about 177. After that, overall, this would be a profitable trade series. But until then, I was just looking at some major red on Baba. And then on Friday, I closed down a Campbell Soup put that I had sold. It was in the money. got out at 108. Had I kept it, I would have been assigned, and I think I would have lost more money than this because I think Campbell Soups continued going down after the fact. But at the end of this video, I'm gonna go into ThinkOrSwim on demand back in time and show you what I was looking at when I put on this trade originally, and you can see what the result was in the end. And I talk about my thinking process behind all that. Obviously, for this week, I realized over $8,300 in losses, so that's pretty big. But I also have paper losses from Wish that add up to about 15K loss in the portfolio. Here's that view of this week's trades. 3 new positions. I closed 4 positions out. You can pause it and look at this if you need to. You can see, well, I've been pretty bad about tracking stock price on date of contract, but typically I put that in there. And you can see how much I collected when I sold these contracts and how many contracts I sold. So a lot of information in this if you just take the time to look through it. Current positions, again, we know, well, I knew going in that I was taking on risk by going to China. Sometimes it stinks to actually realize that risk, and that's what I'm doing now. So it just goes to show, like, be completely aware that when you say you're okay with risk, that there is risk involved doing these plays. Have a lot of exposure to Wish and Baba right now. I'm debating about whether or not I should just accept more losses and close it down to get the sizing more appropriate for my portfolio, because they're a little bit too big for what I would actually like. Looking at other stuff here, MindMed is down as well, 20%. So much for that quick swing trade. Guess I'm in MindMed for life. The Wish stock here that I'm absolutely long. This might be a position I'm long for maybe over a year at this point. Wishes might take a while to get back up to that 14 level, or I think I only need to get to 10 here, which maybe we'll see a pop at some point in the near future. But I'm not too upset about having that Wish there. It's just that I also have a bunch of Wish puts on to double that position, except the strike price is at 11, so not the best situation to be in. What else we got going on here? Another Chinese stock that I'm losing money on. 55% loss right there. Or at least Clorox, I'm doing good on that one. And the new Baba play that I have on is obviously at a loss. I put this on at, Baba was at 163. I think it's closing at 158 for the week. So about a $5 movement against me. So I'm down about 2,300 on that. Yeah. And I think that covers this part. Now I'm going to jump into ThinkOrSwim. So it was requested that I walk through a trade as I was putting down from the beginning so that you can see exactly what my thought process was. So I'm going to do that with the Campbell Soup play that went through. So it's a pretty simple play to wrap your head around because it ended up being a put. But let's go ahead, and this is the 1-year chart here. And one of the first things I saw was this level of support where it just seems that Campbell Soup repeatedly bounces off of and then heads back up. It's a support that held multiple times. I'm just going to go ahead and draw that real quick. So it tends to bounce off that level of support repeatedly. So 45, or where is that? Yeah, exactly. 45 is a strong support going back a year. If we look at the 2-year chart, you can kind of see it's been above that support for a long time. So that was pretty nice. Let's go back to the 1-year, 1 day. Another thing I like to look at sometimes is the Fibonacci. So I think on this one I actually did look at that. Started there. Ooh, oh, what's that? Here we go. Sorry. And drawing Fibonacci. And draw this sucker real quick. And so the Fibonacci, you can see like it's respecting these levels when it does break through. It gaps pretty hard, but when it hits the bottom of these ranges, it tends to bounce. And over here, it looks like it respected the Fibonacci. The earnings date came down, and then it came right back up. So it might have been an overreaction. So I was thinking this 45 support, another piece of evidence saying this 45 would hold more than likely. So that's why I was fine with playing this pretty close to the money. So I was thinking 45 is a pretty strong support. Looking at the volume profile over here, you can see there's a lot of price action. It trades between 45.30 and 46 quite a bit when it does gap up. Another significant price action up here, a lot of volume that gets traded. So it's more likely to trade at these areas than it is to go down if you look at the past performance. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at the trade. And I tend to look at a month out, and then I'll like look up or down a week to see what the premium looks like. So in this example, I want to be below 45. So here's 44.50. I think this is actually what I put on. Yeah, this is actually what I put on. So how much did I get filled on that? I actually got 70 cents, so that's pretty nice. I actually got filled at the ask at this point. I probably put in a bid of 65 and got filled. But what I would have done first, I would have looked further out a week, see what the 44 or 44.50 would pay out. Going further out a week further here, there's no 50-cent increments here, so you have to jump all the way down to 44, and the fill there would be a lot less than the 44.50. So I probably would have looked a week closer. And again, we have a similar range here for the bid and ask, and look like you might not even get filled. So going back to 30 days out, this has ended up being what I got filled at, so that was pretty nice. And it's a 61% probability of being out of the money. But I thought through that chart analysis I just showed you, I thought it was going to hold because of all the evidence that I found for that. So I went ahead and made that, aggressive play on Campbell Soup. Now, if we go off of demand, now this August 20 put is, expiring in the money, and it looks like it would have cost about $1.66 to close. But in the morning, Campbell Soup had a nice little pop, and we switched to the 1 day 1 minute here. So it went up here, and I was able to close it for like $1 loss, which was mostly intrinsic value at that point. So I figured, let's go ahead, close it out, and not even worry about getting a sign, because when I was looking at the possibility of selling covered calls on it, it just didn't, seem that profitable to me, or it didn't, didn't entice me. So if I would have got assigned at 44.50, if I was selling at 55, you could see that, where's the bid and ask at over here on the right side, like 60 cents, but I would have $4,500 essentially securing that position to make $55 selling a cover call a month out. That didn't really seem too enticing to me, so that's why I decided I'd rather just take the loss and move on. On top of that, my portfolio, I did have another Campbell Soup play in play. I sold some Campbell puts for the strike 41. Let's jump to it real quick. 9.3. So I have a couple of Campbell puts already sold, so I didn't want to double up as well. So I have the 41 puts that I sold, I think for 35. Actually, I got 40 cents premium when I sold these. I sold these a couple of weeks ago, so I do already have another play in Campbell Soup in play. So this is why I didn't roll the position that I was closing today, because I already have another play in play. I think that wraps up this video, guys. If you like this breakdown of the, a trade like this, let me know, and I'll do more of these in the future. If people don't like it, then I won't do it, because it does take more time to put this together for you. I hope everyone has a good weekend. Good luck next week.